Supreme Mother? What the heck is that supposed to mean?
They called me that because I'm Brady's mother.
Trudy, you told us they treated you like a slave.
They did.
Looked more like some sort of goddess to me.
Well, that's what was so terrible.
Okay, what is so terrible about that?
She was enjoying every minute of it.
No, it was all an act. I hated it.
What? People bowing down to you? Yeah, right.
Don't you see? I had to go along with them. They had Brady. They didn't want me. They wanted her. They wanted Zoot's child.
So welcome to Series 2, Episode 47 of Conversations on Eagle Mountain, a podcast about the tribe. I'm your host, Lance, and joining the podcast panel today is Liz.
Hello.
Sabine.
Hi.
And Maggie.
Hi.
With episode notes done by Matt and myself. So Series 2, Episode 47, the screenplay was done by David Fox. It was directed by Julian McSweeney, and the episode synopsis read out by Sabine.
Trudy is forced to go on the defensive after May reveals her true role in the Chosen to the rest of the tribe. Ellie causes trouble for Tai San after locating Alice, and Ebony learns of Bray's plans to turn the tribe leaders against her.
Alright, so the episode kicks off with the cliffhanger from the episode before, with the Morats assembling to listen to May's account of her time in the Chosen and Trudy's role as the Supreme Mother. Trudy, however, argues that it was all an act to stay alive and to remain with Brady. Hearing this, May apologizes, but Chloe and Casey aren't taken in. So yeah, panel, what did you make of May's information here and Trudy's defense?
I mean, she was quick, and it's a logical defense, right? Like, because she did leave with the Chosen to be with Brady, to protect Brady, right? It does make sense. There's merit to it. And maybe in the beginning, that's what it was. But she did very well trying to convince everybody and the people, I guess, that mattered might be taken in by it, good for Chloe and Casey. Not listening to the bull crap.
I have to say, I really liked how Trudy instantly, when she told her story with a yeah, but all I wanted was to be with my daughter. That's why I went with them. And then she plays to Lex's emotions.
Yep.
And his guilt, because that's how that works, and it works perfectly on him because she can instantly see it in his face with, oh crap, yes, he did go with the Chosen to save my life and to be with her kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I think that was brilliant and quick thinking.
That was well played, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good scene, we've been waiting, on a knife's edge for her secret to come out, for anyone to cotton on, so that cliffhanger of, oh, is this the moment they're all going to realize that, Trudy's playing them or that she's with the Chosen. And it gives you that nice break in the tension and then reels you back. Like, oh, no, Chosen wagon is still going. They're still coming. Trudy was able to save herself there. It's just a nice use of that nice false sense of thinking, oh, this is it. She's going to be exposed. But it's also a really cool red flag and a bit of foreshadowing because she's basically telling them exactly what she's still doing and what she's going to continue doing. She's telling them, I had to play along to stay with my daughter. She tells them straight up, it was not me. It's Brady. She's basically giving away the game, but they don't realize it. And I really like that. I just thought that was really cool that she's telling them straight up, I'm pretending I'm playing along because of my child. If I don't do what they want, I will lose her. I may never see her again. They may kill me. And that's exactly what she's doing. And that's what she's going to do. And I thought that was a pretty cool form of foreshadowing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the best way to convince someone because she is telling the truth. She went with them and she went along with them for Brady. And the best way to make herself look better is by telling the truth with leaving out some details.
Yeah, that half-truth that Ebony's so good at.
Yeah, and right now she's just as skilled.
Because I do believe she's still just doing what she's doing to protect, Brady as well and to be with her child. But there's also that part where she's got to enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little, And it's because of all that she's gone through and all that they, put her through. Like they didn't go looking for, there's all that resentment.
Mm-hmm. And that's the guilt she's using against him now. I just, I love the look on Casey's face with it. Yeah, no, don't buy it.
Did everything but roll his eyes.
And him and Chloe together, it's just so cute, and it's great to see them getting together over this, getting closer. Her finally having someone to share this with, and then Patsy behind it with a, oh crap.
That realization on Patsy's face.
I absolutely loved it. Yeah, that KC clocked onto her performance. It's like, and it makes sense for KC. You're like, okay, yeah. This guy who continues to hustle people, he knows when someone's acting up. It's so good.
I mean, had Lex not been this consumed by guilt over this, over what happened to Trudy, you might have seen through it as well. But
he can't see Trudy because of all the guilt this whole time.
Yeah, exactly. And KC has no guilt in this. Or at least, he's a kid. He doesn't have to deal with the guilt.
But he's definitely calling that BS.
For
sure.
I like the inclusion of Patsy's expression.
Yeah.
You can see she's clearly starting to become uncomfortable with the lies, because here you have Trudy's telling her in one ear, the Chosen are such a good thing. They treated me like a queen. It was wonderful. Something's coming and it's going to be great for all of us. But we can't tell the others yet. They're not ready for that truth yet. You can't force it, can't hurry it. And she's accepted that's the way it has to be. But you're seeing in this shot of her how uncomfortable she is with Trudy lying to the group, or at least how she perceives that Trudy's lying to the group. Because that's not what Trudy told her the experience was with the Chosen. And it's like your first hint that Patsy's starting to doubt what is going on between her. It's a small moment, but I like that they included that shot of her reaction to Trudy's story, because it's like, if Trudy told you the Chosen were wonderful to me, I had a great experience, it wasn't bad, I grew from it, all this stuff. And then you're watching her put on this performance of sobbing, and she's so convincing, you're going to start to wonder when she's lying to you and when she's not. And would you be able to tell the difference? And children, if you want to scare a child, be inconsistent. That is terrifying to a child psychologically. They need the stability of knowing what to expect from you. And so, even something as simple as Trudy performing this would be unsettling for Patsy, because it's just like, I know you said we can't tell them the truth, but you're really laying it on, and I'm not comfortable with this, and I'm beginning to wonder, which one is the truth? Was it a bad time? Were you pretending, or was it great? Like, I don't know, and just a small detail that I liked.
And there's just a tiny bit of her noticing that Casey and Chloe together, that, that could have been me and Chloe, or that used to be me and Chloe. Because that closeness of those two, just in that tiny moment, has got to hurt her.
Well, she's going through what a lot of, I don't want to say victim, but I guess it's probably the best word, victims of cults. Trudy is isolating her from her family.
Yeah.
And Patsy's losing that connection from them. She feels completely isolated from the rest of them, and that's also an unsettling feeling as a child. If a secret is a good thing, why is it a secret? It isn't like, oh, we're stealing cookies together. That's a good secret. This is an uncomfortable secret. And you have to start asking yourself as a child is, why can't we tell anybody? If it's a good thing, why do we have to keep it this way? Especially when the idea of Trudy being with the Chosen is so unsettling for everybody. If I were a kid, I'd be thinking, shouldn't we be easing them into it? Shouldn't we be putting them at ease and letting them know that it won't be a bad thing when the Chosen come? Why are we allowing our family to still be afraid of the Chosen if they're not bad and we know they're coming? Won't that be very jarring and scary for our family? Like, why would we do that to them? Why wouldn't we prepare them? And so they'll be happy when the Chosen come or whatever. Just all of it. And Sarah Major, you can see it on her face.
Yes, he did wonderful.
Besides, I vouch for all of you. I back up my crew 100%. Or at least 99. All that stuff about your love life? How much we have in common, it's you, isn't it? You're the traitor.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't struggle. You're with the Chosen, aren't you? And don't lie to me.
Ebony lets it be known among the militia that she believes that there is a chosen spy among them before making a show of suspecting Alice and threatening her with death, later reaffirming in private that Alice is the only one that she can trust. So just talk about that for a bit, panel. What did you make of Ebony's performance here, and do you think it was a smart move?
Yeah, I think it was beautiful. I think it was
Very
well
clever.
done.
Brilliant.
It was perfect because it was so unexpected. You know, nobody knew it was coming. Even Alice wasn't in on it. So the only person that knew was Ebony, and it was beautifully done. It was needed. You know, you see the look on the Militia's face, you know, when this happens. So
And on Alice's face, because he did not know about it.
oh yeah, exactly. The surprise is genuine, and it's just the two of them.
Yeah.
Beautifully done.
It's the most convincing they could have done it. And Ebony knows that.
Yeah.
And it kills two birds with one stone. Ebony needs Alice to find out what her militia are up to. But they're not going to trust Alice because she's not one of them. She's just some new hire who showed up. And there hasn't been a girl in the Locos since season 1. And that's when Zoot was still alive. Once Ebony took over, she got rid of any female competition whatsoever. And so they're not going to accept Alice. And if they do have a secret that they don't want Ebony to find out, they're not going to tell her. So by doing this, not only has Ebony made them realize like, oh, I don't really trust her either. So they don't suspect her so much. They're like, oh, okay, she's cool. But it also makes them feel more emboldened in what they're doing because she's reiterating how much she trusts them. Like, I vouch for all of my men. You know what I mean? And so they're like, oh, wow, she's not on to us at all. She doesn't suspect anything that we're doing. And so if they were going to, if Alice, this gave Alice the best chance of finding out anything from them.
Yeah.
Because now, you know, I just thought that was a clever move for her. My only question I had was, now Alice said, you know, she was actually kind of, you know, afraid when she did that. Like, I thought I was a goner. But I think on some level, Alice was still playing along because this is Alice. She could easily trounce Ebony if she was actually in danger.
Yeah.
If she truly believed she was in danger, it's like, just flip that little midget over your shoulders. And so the fact that she doesn't fight back, even though she's obviously scared of what the frick Ebony's playing at, she had enough sense to play along just in case.
Yes.
Like, just enough, just an inkling up there, like, you know, because she could have easily taken Ebony
she
out.
Stomped her. Done. Gave her a whipping with whatever was held to her throat. It's fine.
Smart move, Alice. You know, just in case she's messing with me, I'm gonna play along. This woman might kill me. I might have to kill her. See where this goes. Ebony live like that? How does she live surrounded by 8 guys who she knows would sell her out for a pair of shoelaces?
She does. I mean, she doesn't live. I think she just survives day to day.
Yeah.
You know, it's a damn shame too. Because I feel like Ebony could be a decent person if she really wanted to be. If she really would like trust the people that had her best interests in mind. You know, like, because I feel like there are a few people I feel she could have trusted Bray.
Yeah.
You know, I don't really feel like Bray would ever do anything intentional, first, at the very least, to harm Ebony, right?
Or at least as long as he would not have a girlfriend that would influence him that badly.
Either way, you know what I mean? Like, there are a few people, you know.
There are plenty of people she could trust.
Yes. Like, but she always distances herself enough because she's always been hurt. So she's gonna, you know, make sure that doesn't happen or that she does it first.
Ebony's like main principle in life is shoot first because there's always someone in the wings waiting to shoot you. As long as you believe that, you're always going to be on the defense. You're always going to be attacking people. And she's the one who breaks the trust with people. It's always her actions that lead to the breaking of trust. And then she has the nerve to be like upset at the person reacting to her break in trust. She's
Yeah.
always done something that makes them not trust her, and then she's accusing them, I can't trust you.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It's like, that's not what's happening. Until she grows out of that, she will always be this isolated and alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's probably due to previous experiences, though.
Oh no, it absolutely is.
Oh, I understand why
Yeah.
she's this way. I'm simply saying, until she grows out of
Mhm.
it, she's going to be stuck here in the same hamster wheel forever.
Hmm.
Because she thinks that she can do everything. She's got to know that she needs people. I do love this friendship that is about to develop between her and Alice. You know, this
Yeah.
little understanding that they have. It's going to be nice to see.
If only there was more of it.
Yeah.
Ebony expects people to prove that she can trust them, and yet has no qualms about being trustworthy
Right.
whatsoever.
Right.
You know, so regardless of her experiences, she's just a massive hypocrite when it comes to how she treats people. She's allowed to do whatever she wants to you, but God forbid you retaliate or react to that. You have to be absolutely perfect for her to even give you a shot. But she can do anything she wants to you, and you're supposed to just take it.
Because that's who she is.
And that's just
And
who
it's
she is.
what she does.
Yeah. It's like she's done nothing to earn Alice's trust, but she harps on about the trust, you know, and
As far as, you know, Alice is concerned, Ebony is the person that tried to kill Tai San. But right now, Tai
Right.
San is her enemy.
Yeah, and the enemy of my enemy.
and Alice is smart about it, you know, when, you know, she's like, I don't know if I trust her, but I get her, and at least I right now we want the same thing. I want to find out what's going on with these chosen too.
Mhm.
And she knows Ebony is smart. She knows that Ebony is smart.
Yeah.
And that Ebony can get things done. And right now, she doesn't feel, you know, comfortable at the mall.
Ebony gave her something to focus on,
Yes.
and she needed that distraction.
Yeah, she did. She really did. You know, and at the same time, with being by Ebony's side, she's in the best position to help her sister without being near her sister.
Yeah.
This is true, you know, and if anything is going on, if Ebony is doing anything, Alice is going to find out now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Alice is smart. She is a smart cookie. And I do believe she knows how to make the best of situations. It sucks that it took this crap with Tai San and Lex, you know, running to run her out. But the heart wants what the heart wants. Teenage girls.
She just likes her boys bad.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she got away thanks to me. So, you want to come and join us, May?
Join the meeting or join the Mallrats?
Both, on a show of hands.
As Bray calls a meeting to discuss how to deal with the rumours surrounding Billy Boy, Salene calls for May to be there as she saved her life from the smile. Although initially reluctant to derail the purpose of the meeting, Bray eventually instigates a vote and May becomes Mallrat by an unanimous show of hands. So panel, 2 questions here. Like, were you happy to see May join the tribe so quickly? And yeah, well, following on from that, what do you make of the Mallrats' system to allow a new member immediately whenever someone has been saved?
It's stupid.
It's a really low bar.
Yeah, like I don't really know what my opinion is. I don't care for May. She's always proved to me that she's a crappy person. So
All I'm thinking here is they have a low bar for everyone except for when Trudy wanted to join.
well, duh, she had a baby.
Yeah, fair enough, but still, you know, it's
Yeah, I
instantly,
know.
oh, everyone's all for it. Tai San came in.
Well, Amber's not there anymore.
Tai San came in. Everyone's all for Tai San joining, you know?
I mean,
It's there. I guess it's the one thing that is consistent. It says something about their youth. You know, everything is based on emotions.
yes.
You know, there's no consistency in fairness or logic. It's just emotions, you know, and it doesn't take much for someone to claim that their lives were saved. You know, I highly doubt the smile was going to do much more than bruise your pretty face, Salene. I don't think May saved your life, but whatevs, you know. I think Chloe was in far more danger of the locos than you were of the smile. But yeah, it doesn't take much, and it's just an emotional thing. They're happy that Salene came back because the majority like Salene. And May was the reason she came back. May protected her. So it's just an emotional thing for them.
Yeah.
it's not like Danny got a vote, and then they made a big deal about Alice and Ellie, you know, and it's just they're just all over the place based on how they feel.
And then they tell Ebony later, "You were never part of this tribe."
You never got voted in.
Yeah.
I feel like it is based all on their mood, you know? Like, are we really being tribal right now? Okay, let's vote. All right, we're not really a tribe right now. We're just kind of a group of people. It's fine. I don't like May.
I just love how May joined the meeting regardless.
She was gonna be there anyway, yeah.
She was sneaking it on it, and she just conveniently right there. Like, I know somebody told you weren't supposed to be here. But she's like, I need to know what these people are talking about.
May doesn't care. Like, May does not have rules, right?
Nope.
Like, oh man.
Except for if you sleep with a guy, you steal his boots.
You steal his friggin' boots.
I do feel for Bray here. He is trying to get something done.
Yes.
And it's just like
For
everyone
once.
talks about stuff that doesn't. This is not the time. He has called an important meeting with you.
And they want to play Happy Families. It's
everybody's
okay.
like I mean, I get why Ryan does it. He is desperate to lock Salene down. He's like, she ain't going anywhere. I'm putting the ball and chain on her so freaking fast, she won't be able to run.
And in front of Bray without people using that against him.
It's just, just one person after another announcing inconsequential stuff that doesn't matter. And poor Bray is just like, I'm trying to save our lives, okay? That's what I'm trying to do.
I'm trying to be a leader here.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be a leader.
Let me lead, please. No, poor Bray. Yeah, you're right. Poor Bray. It's fine.
Yeah, poor Bray. For once, he's actually trying.
The look on his face when Ryan's talking, like he has to force a smile when he finally makes the announcement. When he finally gets to the point that he and Salene are getting married, he's like, "Oh, okay." But up until then, you could tell he was just like, "Get on with it." Like, I don't care. I don't care about you two right now, right? I'm like, yeah, me too. I'm with you, Bray. I don't care. And how do I feel about May joining? Again, like I said, it's no different than anybody else that we barely know. In fact, we know more about May than any other character who just sort of
she's
showed
a
up.
crap person.
And they're doomed anyway, so it really doesn't matter. It's more like I want to tell May, run. Keep running. You don't want to join these guys.
Run away.
You're safer on your own.
Yeah. Oh,
You thought you got away from the crazies?
they are coming to live with you. They're gonna take your bedroom.
Picked the wrong tribe to join, honey.
I don't feel sorry for her. Sorry, not sorry, May. You stole Lex's boots.
You don't feel sorry for her? Like,
No, I don't. It sucks though because I have a horrible bias, right? Because I know all the crap she does later on to save her own butt. You know what I mean? And it's so hard. But then I'm like, how do I justify all the stuff Ebony does and still like her? You know, I don't like May. I don't know.
I don't know. I like May in this season. I just hate her in a later one.
I have a little sympathy for May, at least in this situation.
Yeah.
She is so much like Ebony. She is somebody who can't trust, but she herself isn't trustworthy. And so she's in the same cycle as Ebony. Yep. She does untrustworthy things to people, but is unlike Ebony, May is a little bit more desperate for companionship, where Ebony is like, I'm fine. I don't need anybody. I'm good. But May, you can tell, actually does want people around her. She doesn't want to be alone. And yet her behavior puts her in that place where she ends up alone when people don't want to tolerate her anymore. And, you know, she becomes an outcast. She really is an outcast. And the difference I will say between May and Ebony is that I think May tries harder. Like they're both self-aware, but I think May is more self-aware of her flaws and why why people don't want her around, where Ebony doesn't seem to get it. Like Ebony victimizes herself, where May gets it. She will be honest with you about the fact that you shouldn't trust me. I'm a broken person and I can't seem to get out of this. But she does seem to try. She really does want to be a good person. It's just her, when stuff, goes sideways, her instincts kick in and she'll jump on the opportunity to, advance herself and screw anybody else over. She may even feel guilty about it. Like, look, I was just trying to save myself. I kind of feel bad, I didn't want bad things to happen to you, but I came first, So
she has a strong survivor instinct.
So I do think that makes May an interesting character because she could have been a carbon copy of Ebony, but there's subtleties that make her her own person. And in this situation, I do feel bad for her. She's looking for a tribe, a place to belong. These guys seem so nice. They're the richest tribe in the city, and they've brought her in like their personal orphan Oliver. That all seems like a dream come true. She escaped the Chosen, and now she's gonna be. These guys are gonna deliver her right back to the Chosen.
Yeah.
No wonder she has no patience for them in season 3, where she's just like, "Look, you guys are really sweet and stuff, but I want to live." I'm not justifying her behavior, just that I do feel a little bad for her.
I kind of have to laugh at the fact that we see Trudy vote her in because she must have known what was coming. With, you escaped the Chosen, how cute. Well, you tried to rat me out, so you get to join us in the downfall.
I'm gonna have you polishing my boots, girl.
Mm-hmm.
Spit shining.
Changing my baby.
Yeah.
May's gonna be put on dirty nappy duty for life.
Well, Trudy just wants to see her enslaved. She doesn't want to have to deal with her.
So yeah, like we mentioned, Ryan decides that he wants to marry Salene right away, and they announce it to the rest of the tribe. Salene approaches Tai San to perform the ceremony, but still feeling guilty about Alice. Tai San doesn't believe herself to be spiritually able to do it. At this point, Salene later talks to Trudy, who offers to do it instead.
If it helps, I could...
What?
No, you've probably got someone else. I don't want to tread on anyone's toes.
Trudy? Do you mean you could do the ceremony?
I'd love to.
That'd be wonderful. You're such a great friend. I don't know how to say thank you.
So yeah, what did you make of that panel?
Trudy, playing all humble. I mean, I couldn't. You probably have someone else. Trudy, there are 12 people in this mall. Who else do you think? She ain't got nobody else.
Who else has a cloak? Come on.
I mean, who was he to ask? Chloe? I mean, she sure as hell couldn't ask Danny.
Bray?
I just love the way she did it. You know what I mean? She straight up admitted, I was clearly spying on you and Tai San. I know, and is like, she's gorgeous. I love her so much. Oh my gosh. And Selene's all offended. Like, come on. Tai San explained it very clearly. She was so polite and kind as she said, no, I can't marry you because I'm in a really bad place. I can't join a union like that. She's not mean. She's not testy with Salene. And Salene, again, it's all about her. So she's like, she doesn't even care that Tai San just told her, I'm in a really bad spiritual place. And all Salene cares about, she won't marry us. Like, she didn't even care that maybe Tai San could use a friend or anything, right?
All she's thinking is, oh no, am I gonna have to ask Danny to do this now? After I've tried to steal her man.
Oh, okay. Did anyone else think it was weird that she goes, it just feels like a bad omen? And it's like, the bad omen is that you don't want to marry Ryan, Salene. Are you trying to convince yourself or something?
Yes, she is.
This is karma telling you you're a terrible person, Salene.
She's a horrible person. Awful.
Yeah. No defense there. She is.
I just like the fact that Trudy's like, oh, I am so on board for this train wreck. I tried to save you. I had a moment of sincerity where I tried to be a friend and tell you, look, you don't want to marry this guy, don't do it. But since you are, I'm just getting my popcorn. I'm getting in the front row to watch this. Jerry.
Yes.
But it's so unsettling, Salene and Ryan. Like, it's just nothing has changed. Nothing has gotten better. They're both just so messed up. They should not be doing this. You got Salene just faking, manipulating this whole thing. And you got Ryan is straight up telling her, like, she's like, don't worry, I'm not going to change my mind. And Ryan might as well said, I don't trust you. We're getting married tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, this is healthy.
He's just thinking, I need to make sure Bray doesn't change her mind again.
I don't know how people root for them unless they're just blinded themselves to everything in this relationship. And even her reaction to him saying, let's do it right away. Even she's like, Salene, you signed on for this train, okay? It's going into the tunnel. So unless you come clean, this is happening. How long did you come back for the engagement and then think you could just fob him off for a while? You know, like, what was your plan? Apparently there was no plan. Just this child.
Yeah, but I wonder if the moment that Ryan started going on about let's do it quickly, she realized she could, she started to realize that, okay, maybe I can get away with claiming it happened after the wedding.
Yeah.
No, that expression was terror.
Yes, she was. So
that expression said, "Oh, I didn't think I'd actually have to marry you. I was just buying myself some time."
Oh, this is real?
Oh, yeah. She must have realized after that could be practical to claim her innocence.
Oh yeah, I'm sure the thought did cross her mind afterwards. Yeah.
Oh, it absolutely did.
Salene, you're the one who brought up marriage. You brought it back into the conversation with Ryan. Mm-hmm. All you had to do is apologize to Ryan and try to sweet talk your way back into a relationship. You're the one who straight up said, I wish I'd said yes. And so Ryan jumped on that, okay? Yep.
She just had to get back into a relationship and sleep with them, and it would have been done.
He leaped on that like a frat boy at a kegger, okay? He was like, oh, really? All right. I'm not going to question anything. I've learned nothing.
Nothing.
And now she's like, oh, you want to get married immediately? Like, what was the plan? Shouldn't this be, she should have smiled. Like, yes, it worked. Because otherwise, I don't know what her plan was. What her plan should have been was, okay, I got to trick Ryan into marrying me so I can pass off this baby as, our honeymoon baby or whatever. Mm-hmm. And now I have that security because whatever. And instead, it's like apparently that expression on her face says what she was going to just hide the pregnancy until she couldn't hide the pregnancy and fob off the actual marriage. And how does that work, Salene? Like, were you going to eventually break up with Ryan? Like, you should be happy that he fell into your trap. I don't know why, or unless she just realized, crap, what am I doing? Maybe that's what that was just a sincere moment of crap. I actually do have to do this. Mm-hmm. Knuckle up, Salene.
I mean, it just, she doesn't want him to marry her just because she's having a baby, right? So that points back to it having to be about her.
Yep.
And not about anyone else. Mm-hmm. So now that's just, Salene, I don't, yeah, that's all I've got.
And sticking with the wedding, feeling put out about being left out of the meeting with the tribe leaders, Casey offers to instead help Ryan prepare for the wedding by taking him to a bar in Sector 4, where he hires a newly independent Smile to sing at the wedding and also steal the ring, of course. So let's focus on that panel. Like, what did you make of the use of the Smile, the people who attacked both Salene and Moratz just like a day or so ago, and hiring them as wedding singers?
It goes back to them not thinking things through. It's fine.
This is the sort of thing that you would read on like a petty wedding behavior Reddit. You know what I mean? Like, did Casey not know that the Smile got into a fight with Ryan and Lex, or that they tried to attack Salene?
How can he not know? I mean, and even if he didn't know, once he'd hired them, like the Moratz would have said something.
But he doesn't tell them. They're a surprise. They just show up after the vows. So he didn't tell anybody. Ryan and Salene just had to put on a brave face at their entertainment or people they were just fighting with the other day.
They were probably terrified when they heard the music. Like, they probably peed themselves.
They're all grinning. It's like, I don't get it. Sorry.
I would have been like, nah.
The only thing I can think of is that Casey just thought, okay, these girls, they're not with the jackals. What's going on? And can I fill Billy Boy's spot? You know, because he tells them
He wants to be their pimp. Okay.
Yeah, because he tells them if you help me, I'll help you guys.
It is how Casey deals. He deals in information in favors. So,
Yeah.
I just find it amusing. Like, it doesn't even bother me, but I just find
is.
it really funny that that's Casey hired them. I love everything about this scene. And I mean, my favorite part is the Smile singing the original Tribe soundtrack, singing my second favorite song on the soundtrack. I was so distracted by that song. I was having trouble following the scene and actually listen to Casey talk to the girl. I loved that bartend. I think she's just one of those characters who, even though we only see her in one scene, I love everything about her makeup, her rings, her outfit, the conversation she's having with KC. I love that little actress. You know what I mean? I just loved her. I loved her. Again, I don't know who she is. We don't see her again. At least I never see her again. I love everything about that scene. I think it's just brilliant. And I love that the Smile got a job. I'm happy for them. You know, you go girls. You know, great scene. Here's your ring.
And just them telling Casey, yeah, no, the jackals, no, they couldn't stand to listen anymore. No ear for music.
And they just didn't like Billy Boy's taste in music. That's what that is.
Mm-hmm.
I bet they renovated the place too.
I mean, they deal in stereos, not live music.
Like, have you ever heard of hip hop? Come on, man.
These girls are just there for when the batteries on those stereos run out.
Because remember when we got to visit the jackal's lair and there was just nothing but howling wolves in the background? I love to imagine that too was a Billy Boy thing. And the rest of his tribe were just like, please, dude. You know what I mean? I'd rather listen to country than this. Just real music, man. Please. I imagine the jackals changed a lot of things once Billy Boy was gone. They're like, he's a good leader, but his aesthetic was awful.
There's this one thing I came across earlier that just suddenly popped up into my head. So we have the jackals with Billy Boy in a warehouse. Has either of you ever read May's Pre-Tribe, as it is on Tribe World? Because there's this whole story about her being in a warehouse with a boy named Billy at the point when the virus hits. And it just made me wonder if it was, actually Billy Boy.
Who knows? Maybe. Fun little headcanon. May gets around.
Yeah.
I also found this interesting. Ryan's going through his list of things he needs in 24 hours. And I'm like, it tells you how disconnected the Mallrats are from the city, that he has no idea where to even go, where else to trade for these things. You know?
Yeah. Now that people aren't coming to the mall.
That's how the Mallrats have managed everything. You have to come to us. Everything has to be on our turf, on our terms. And it's like the rest of the city is doing their own thing, and it's just so crazy that you are in the top tier and you don't even know the basics of this city and where people would go to trade, but KC does.
Yeah.
This little kid knows because he actually pays attention to what's going on in the world, outside of their mall and what other people actually have to say, and he actually talks to people from other tribes and gets the lowdown on their lives. And it's just like, you all could be a little bit more like Casey. And he's 11. Casey and Chloe for the win. All right. They're so far the smartest people in this building.
Casey has more connections than Bray and Danny do.
It was really funny of him running out and putting the ring in Ryan's hand and then disappearing.
Yeah. Just gonna show you a little trick. I can make things disappear, preferably about this big.
The Mallrats are a lot like people who fall into the trap of celebrity and they become disengaged with how average people live and think. Because in earlier seasons, there were a lot more Mallrats who did have connections outside of the mall and knew people outside the mall and knew the lay of the land, And now even Lex is kind of just off the grid, like just barely, unless someone comes into the mall and starts a problem with Lex, he's just not out there. He's not connected with anybody out there. Bray is still trying to keep that connection that he had in season 1 with knowing how how their people are, and he at least has made an effort, mainly because he's a leader and has to. But I just think it's really interesting that they've become the celebrities of their own world. They are so disconnected from the rest of Tribe World and the way the rest of these kids live. Why they become irrelevant.
Maybe it's your fate to marry me.
I also believe in free will.
Then use it. Say yes.
Why do you want to marry me, Lex?
For the good of the tribe. Yeah, there's been so much tension in the air.
Be serious.
Because I love you, Tai San. Because I want to be with you. And if that's not a good enough reason, I don't know what is.
After tracking down and talking to Alice, Ellie apologizes to Trudy for thinking that she was Lex's other woman and instead exposes Tai San. Lex, however, comes to her defense and tells the group that they are in love and that he wants to marry her. Later on in private, a shocked Tai San tells him that she doesn't believe in marriage, but after listening to his reasons for wanting to do it and remembering her own jealousy when she thought he had slept with May, changes her mind. So yeah, what do you think about finally the truth about Lex and Tai San coming to light, and the discussion about marriage?
I'm going to let everyone else go first because I could talk about this for days.
Okay. So first off, I'm just really happy that he stepped up, he defended her, and he just threw all the cards on the table about what was going on and what he wanted. And of course, Tai San's instantly saying, yeah, but I don't believe in marriage. And then, I like that we got to see her train of thought about, okay, but is this what it means?
Mm-hmm.
Because she had never thought about that before, and about why she would possibly want that.
Yeah.
I mean, she never even considered jealousy that much before. So yeah, I'm glad that she changes her mind and agrees to do so.
Me too. I think that immediate, I don't believe in marriage is like an auto response.
Yeah.
She's probably just trained herself and, thought that this is what she believed, but I don't think she was ever in love before Lex. So that just changes that, everything.
Yeah, and the last marriage she saw was the one she performed for Lex and Sandra.
Yeah.
Which she knew was not for any good reason other than, Lex wanting to get her into bed.
Right.
This is another scene. I love everything about it. Everything from, everyone's just really highly motivated. It's got good dialogue, good acting, good staging. I love Ellie coming in to defend her sister. And she thinks she's going to give Tai San a talking to. Like the way she leans into this conversation. She had a show she was planning on performing, in defense of her sister, which cool. But I also love that it doesn't go down the way Ellie thought it would. Tai San doesn't make up excuses. She doesn't try to really defend herself. She just accepts that Ellie has a right to be mad at her because, in Tai San's eyes, she betrayed Alice in the worst way. She doesn't even, nobody even points out, shouldn't he be mad at Lex too? It's really great. It's a really great scene. I love Trudy's face through the whole thing. Like, again, she's got the popcorn out. She's like, this is wild. I can't believe I'm here for this. I'm so glad I came in here to get a drink. You've got Ray and Danny flabbergasted in the background.
Yes.
I love that. I even love, they came to Tai San's defense too when, Ellie was getting going. They were like, yo, you're on a line. Like, I liked that. It felt there was a camaraderie, right there, because Tai San doesn't often get defended by her tribe mates because they don't get her. They don't understand her. So I liked in that moment when they thought she'd gone too far in insulting her, they said something, and then Lex coming in like a freaking dashing hero. Look at your growth this season. I was going to castrate you at one point, and now I'm just like, yay, love,
Yes.
It doesn't feel showy. It doesn't feel false. It feels so genuine the way he comes in to defend her, and taking full responsibility for how things went on and also setting the record straight with Ellie. And then Lex and Tai San, once again, having this beautifully honest conversation about their feelings. Lex does not try to pressure Tai San. He even apologizes for doing that in public. He just couldn't help himself, you know? And she doesn't go on the defensive with him and like, you know, why would you do that? You know, they're just being honest with each other and gentle. He doesn't get mad at her when she says, I don't believe in marriage. And it's really sweet of you to ask, but it's just not my bag. And as you guys said, she's never been in love. She's never even given it any thought. And it's just an automatic response. I don't believe in that sort of thing. And instead of pouting or, you know, getting upset at her or basically rejecting her for not giving him what he wants, he accepts her answer and even accepts that maybe that's what he deserves. Why should he get the woman he's in love with when he's played with so many hearts before? Why should she want to commit to him? He, you know, that's a self-reflective moment. Maybe this is my karma, and accepts that rather than throwing a pity party for himself or getting angry at her. And then the way Tai San, because she always needs more time to think things through.
Always.
The way she, like you said, Sabine, the way she reasons it, suddenly it made sense to her. And that's the other thing I love about Lex and Tai San. They aren't ever trying to be what society thinks a healthy relationship is. They find their path. They find what works for the two of them. And it's such a gorgeous contrast to what is happening with Ryan and Salene, who it's all fake, it's all false. It looks pretty and perfect on the outside, and it's just a big mess and has no longevity going for it. And it's built on lies, you know, but it looks the part. Like, people don't look at Lex and Tai San and think, oh, that's a healthy couple, because they don't look traditional, because they don't care about that. You know, they care about each other and what works for my partner. Where can I concede for my partner and still live with that? And I love that Tai San isn't pressured into feeling like she has to marry Lex. It just suddenly makes sense to her now that she understands these feelings. And oh my gosh, it's so well acted, so beautiful. I love that she's asking him, like, is that how you feel about me? Is that what it means to be with someone forever? And Lex's eagerness, like, yes, she's getting it. Yes. You know, I humanize you. You know?
Oh, it's so good.
I literally
It's so good.
squeed you guys.
I love them.
Yeah.
And it is proof that they can write a healthy relationship. Oh my gosh. So it's like all these messed up toxic ones, they do that for fun. This is drama without the toxicity. You can have drama in a relationship without the couple being toxic. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And Tai San or Lex are proof of that. They have lots of drama, but they're never toxic to each other. And I'm just like,
right.
Yay, a healthy teenage romance for the win.
Such a nice contrast from all the others.
The lighting is really nice. They both look so freaking beautiful. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
They always do. I'm so jealous.
There's great shots of their whole ensembles. And I'm like, you two have never looked better and you never will. Oh my gosh. Oh,
they're very handsome.
They
couple.
are.
You can tell who the writers are invested in.
Yeah. Who are the favorites, right?
Like, we got the Danny Bray crap out of the way.
Bray and his black, Danny and her almost white. It's fine.
I mean, I'd even go as far as say the Bray and Danny thing just been kind of forgotten, really. But barely.
Bray and who?
So like, look, we got them there.
We're almost there. We're so close, guys. So
We've
close.
established them. We kept them busy. Now the real story is here. Okay?
Yeah.
Let's give them what they really want.
Oh.
What a twist.
People want true love on screen, and it's not Brian.
They didn't know what to do with Bray and Danny, so they just had them bickering and misunderstanding each other and constantly arguing with each other. Like, as much as I don't like Ryan and Salene, at least their conflicts were built on something real. You know, like actual real stuff that people should be in conflict about when you're in a relationship. But Bray and Danny, it was always just tantrums over.
I don't like it when you blink like that.
Pretty much. I said jump. You didn't say how high. You know, it just you don't respect me. You would jump for Salene. You know.
Well, technically,
Technically, yeah.
I mean, it's nice to see Brie and Danny just working together, but it doesn't look like it's because they're a couple. It does look like they're just coworkers.
She's his work wife, waiting for his real wife to come
They
back.
went to HR and handled their problems, and that's all.
And I'm suddenly thinking about, yes, Bray would jump for Salene, and suddenly I'm realizing that though Bray never went out looking for Trudy, he went out looking for Salene.
What a turd.
It's on the writing. That is on the writing. I can't even blame Bray for that, because the writing didn't want anyone to care about Trudy.
Yeah.
The writing.
They're like, they're not supposed to find her, so we'll just make them all not care.
Make them all not care at all.
So we don't care about Trudy, no.
Yeah, to be fair, like Bray went out looking for Chloe, he went out looking for Salene. Yeah.
Hell, he went out looking for Bluebell, didn't he?
Yeah.
I was gonna say Bluebell.
Bray has gone looking for everyone, even chickens, just not Trudy.
Yeah. That was
Just not Trudy.
Not Trudy, not Brady.
That was bad writing.
That was on the writers.
rough.
In his defense, there was a moment he wanted to, and the tribe was like, "No, you can't." And he was just like, "Okay, I won't fight you on this."
Wasn't it Danny who said, "No, you can't"?
I need to have control of you at all times. You stay here. I'll go look.
Yeah, you don't go after that woman.
Nah, that's the writing, because that was not in Bray's character whatsoever.
That brings us to our final thoughts of the episode.
The mall rats are setting a trap for themselves. We've only to snap it shut and the city will be ours.
But I'm worried. Ebony is getting closer to the truth.
She will have to be disposed of.
So Trudy relates the Morax's plan to meet with the tribe leaders to the Guardian, who believes it is the perfect opportunity to strike. But if Ebony is still adamant that the Chosen are a threat, they first agree to get rid of her using the distraction of the wedding. So yeah, panel, what do you make of this cliffhanger with Trudy meeting the Guardian? Were you afraid of Ebony's safety? What do you think of it all?
The only person's safety I was afraid of, honestly, was Alice.
I was worried about Alice, for sure. I mean, yeah, I was worried about Ebony, but I think by now we know that Ebony gets out of jams.
Yeah.
She gets out of things, you know. I was just glad it was all finally. I'm like, okay, finally, it's all coming to a head. Let's get into this, you know. But Alice, I did worry about her.
Yeah, worried about Alice and could not wait to see if we would have another scene with Ebony and the Guardian going head to head again.
Yeah.
I like that my feelings were different than the first time she went missing. When she went missing with Spike, it felt deserved. Even though I didn't want her to be taken out by Spike, I didn't want her story to end that way. I wasn't worried about her. I was like, well, you know, she did this to herself. Here, it's different because Ebony is right. She's right about the Chosen, and she can't get anyone to listen to her. So them targeting her, there's a sense of anxiety, like, oh man, she's gonna get it, you know what I mean? And this time I actually genuinely was, when I first saw it, worried that, because it was like, if anyone's going to take her out, I could see it being Jaffa. Like, Spike wasn't a worthy opponent, you know, he was just a little... Jaffa has been built up to be one. And so I was like, it would be a worthy way for Ebony to go out if she was going to. This is before I realized she was completely immune in the plot.
She is immune.
Totally safe.
Yeah.
This was still, you know, early on. So I was like, ooh, this might be it. Like, they are legit killing people. We have a body. These guys have a kill count.
That's
so
true.
I thought she could go. They could do this because they did such a great job building the Chosen up and showing proof of how far they were willing to go. From the first kid who died in the Chosen because he was denied the antidote, you know, by their religion. I knew they were serious. So if they actually wanted to kill her, I thought they might actually succeed in killing Ebony. And again, it would be a worthy way for her to go out. It'd be sad. I'd be, you know, like, oh no, Ebony's gone. But I wouldn't be like disappointed that this is how she went out, because it's like, at least she was taken out by a big fish.
Yeah.
And yeah, I also felt the sense of like, oh, the ball's getting rolling. It can't come fast enough. This is really great, you know.
And in all fairness, from that giant smile on Trudy's face when they talked about this, it felt kind of satisfying. I know I'm evil.
She cannot wait. She cannot wait to see their faces.
It just felt a bit satisfying to know that, yeah, we're going after Ebony now, and you can just see the excitement in her face.
Oh, for sure, because Ebony's still an enemy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she doesn't want any harm to come to like Bray or Patsy, Salene.
Oh.
But Ebony, nah, she's good. Let me set up this murder.
I don't think Trudy has truly allowed herself to think about the reality of what's going to happen to the people she does actually care about when this is done.
Yeah.
Her only focus is being reunited with her daughter, and that means she has got to achieve this goal for Jaffa. He is not going to let her stay with her daughter until she does. And so for him to tell her, okay, we're just about there, that smile, like, yes, we're almost done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to do this anymore. I'll just be with Brady, because she's stopped thinking about, like, for her, the Chosen are inevitable.
Yeah.
There's just no point in fighting them. And her only focus is Brady now. So it's like, if we're almost done, I'm almost reunited with my kid. And I don't think she's actually allowed herself to think, what is going to happen to Bray, the rest of the Mallrats, Patsy, like,
she's compartmentalized.
I think she always simply assumed all would be well with them because they would just, do the smart thing.
Join,
survive, worship her. Whereas Ebony is that one little from her past who's put her through so much. And yes, she'll be happy to see that one go because, she doesn't have to do it herself.
Yeah, there's no love lost with Ebony there.
Yeah, no. I mean, if I were her, I'd be kind of happy that Ebony would finally,
I feel like she's got a lot of emotions going on for a lot of different reasons.
Yeah, but that part would definitely be revenge.
I'm telling you, she likes it. She likes the power. Just as much as she wants to be with her kid, I think that she enjoys it a little bit.
I think that
because she's never had
I was
it.
gonna say she's never had it before, and to be
So it's a new experience, and finally in charge of something in her life.
Yes, you guys should have cared about me a little bit more.
But also, I think what's really important to remember is that the rationale is so different than our own, because that's what cults do. They change your perception of the world. What is right? What is wrong? What is up? What is down? And, we know that Trudy wasn't power hungry. We know she wasn't interested in being worshipped. They broke her down into a place where she was able to accept this and even enjoy it.
You saw what they did to Bray,
right?
You see what they try to do to Bray. Yeah.
So it's not just a typical, I'm enjoying the adulation. It's more like they stripped me bare and destroyed the person I was and built me into what they wanted me to be. And this person can accept the adulation, and
and they made her feel like she finally deserved that.
I also think being separated from Jaffa helps in season 2, because once we see them stuck back together, even though she's with her child, Trudy will be in a lot more emotional turmoil because he can abuse her daily, which he does.
Yeah.
And so this is probably the first time she's truly been able to enjoy the benefits of being a supreme mother, even if she's not with Brady. There is a high side to not having to be with Jaffa, watching her every move, listening to her every word, and just attacking her all the time as a way to control her. She's been able to, create the fantasy of what being the supreme mother is away from that abuse, because he doesn't really do any of it with this separation. And that would also create a sense of relief to be able to enjoy the high point of being the supreme mother. She only has to show up for the meetings and, be worshipped. She doesn't have to deal with him,
I think you're onto something there. I think that might actually also be why she could be so convincing to Patsy.
Yeah.
Because, when she has the narrative in the mall, she makes the story. When Jaffa's not near her, she gets to dictate how things are.
And only think about the parts that she liked, the parts that worked, that were okay.
Yeah, so it's easier to paint a pretty picture to someone like Patsy if she's not around, the bad parts at that point.
Yeah.
Because once she's back in his clutches, the reality of what being the Supreme Mother comes crashing back down on her.
Mm-hmm.
And she basically has a breakdown, and
Yeah.
He pushes her so far that she completely collapses. So yeah, I think that has a lot to do with why Trudy seems to be enjoying this, Oh, I saw a note about her having time to change. I honestly believe that is like mandatory with Jaffa. I really do. I guarantee, Jaffa does nothing without the performance, without the show. I guarantee when she shows up, she has to go and change into her raiments before she can have an audience.
Yeah.
With him.
Yep.
It's
formal wear only.
It's just like you would not go later on. You would not visit with Ram in your furred clothes. You do not visit with Jaffa with clothes that have been used.
Like we're in a time crunch, dude, and he's just like, "Go change, give her a bath," and
yep, give her a bath. She smells.
I was going to say, 'cause, like, she has to sneak out of the mall with Brady because she can't leave her there unless Patsy's looking after, protecting her, innit? And then like having to get changed and then see the guardian, and change back and then run back into the mall. It's like it's just a bit.
It's magic.
I guarantee he makes her do that. He makes them all do it.
Yeah, because he doesn't want the peasant germs on him.
No.
Yeah, and someone's doing it for her. Remember, she's not bathing or dressing herself.
No, she's quickly getting washed and dressed by some servant.
Just so she can give him a one sentence message.
Yep.
But that's because Jaffa's not in a hurry.
No.
Nope.
He's biding his time. He's like, I'm waiting. Their chaos is our opportunity. I know I'm going to strike when it's right. Trudy's the one who's in a hurry. Like, come on. I'm doing everything you said. I just want my child.
I just want my child. I don't want to be discovered. So hurry up already with this.
Yeah, that was going to be like my last kind of question on it. Like, do you think this should have occurred earlier?
No.
Do you agree? Are you happy with the slow build up that we've had?
The build up makes it worth it. It raises the stakes. They're winding that tension. And it's just like, I feel like we wouldn't have cared as much if this happened fast.
Nah, it wouldn't have made such an impact.
It's like Hitchcock was talking about tension. How do you make it work? If you put a bomb under a table and it blows up, you get a jump scare out of people in a few seconds of shock. But if you tell the audience there's a bomb under the table, the dinner becomes much more interesting because we know these people are in danger, but they do not. So when the bang comes, it is satisfying because we've spent the entire dinner dreading it. So I think they took a page out of that book.
Yeah, I can't help it. I just really love the way they build up the whole Chosen storyline. So I don't have a favorite season. I have a favorite storyline.
Yeah, I mean, like I love that the threat is introduced to us immediately, even though we don't know it's a threat. It feels off them talking about Zoot, and then they're nowhere to be seen. Our Mallrats are just doing their thing in the city. They got all their own problems, and then boom, the Chosen make a show. They show up in a meeting, and there's something off about them. They're ominous. They're strange, And I just like that the looming threat it's a threat, but not much of a threat. They're not doing anything until they go after Trudy and Brady. And so their threat has just been escalating, but very slowly. And now it's ramping up, with bodies dropping and them literally saying out loud, that they're going after people. It was just slow and steady pulls the fish in on the reel. If you do it too quick, you'd break it. So you gotta just reel it in nice and slow. And you get that fish, and that's probably why it's the invasion that works the best in all 5 seasons.
Yeah.
And because they put the work in.
See, I kind of agree with that, but apart from that massive gap when they go missing, I think I understand why it was to again cement the Mallrats' destruction, but I think it did go on a bit too long. It could have been condensed, I think.
I think it needed to be this long, but it might have worked better for us if we would have seen small glimpses in between, of what was going on with Trudy over there.
I think it could be a trap of the 52 episode season. If you already know you have to stretch the storyline out like that, you're going to get some dead space. I mean, even in the mall, sometimes you just have episodes where it's just busy work, you know, and the plot doesn't really matter. That just reestablishing things we already know and having the same conversations over again. And there are times when it feels like they're killing time, but I will say, just unlike other seasons, I never forgot that there was a plan in place, and they do a really good job of pulling it all together. So I don't feel like my time was wasted when I get here. Whereas in other seasons, I do feel like there was a ton of stuff I didn't need to see because it has nothing to do with the third act, you know?
I'm suddenly realizing why it didn't seem that long for me, but that's because we got, you know, the combined episodes. So for us, season 2 was still 26 episodes. Because we had 1 and 2 combined, 3 and 4, and so on over here. So it never seemed like such a big gap to me.
Like when I compare it to, say, season 3, which that's where I do feel like the Chosen drag on to no purpose. You know, it doesn't come together in the third act. When you get to the third act of season 3, it doesn't pull everything that you've just experienced together. It feels like disjointed chapters. They're firm chapters, but they're disjointed and don't really go together. They're just, you know, kind of, it gets sloppy towards that end. So it starts to feel like there was a big chunk of season 3 that wasted my time, you know, or you know, season 1, which I love season 1. It's my favorite season, even if it's not the best written season, but it does meander a lot. There's no firm story of season 1. It's just the story of survival, and it's a character study, really. And yeah, season 2 just feels satisfying. It could have gone pear-shaped if it wasn't. If this third act didn't pull it together, then I would be begrudging a lot in season 2. But because there's a consequence to everything we saw.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm like, okay, you know what I mean? Like,
it ends fantastically. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. It does put it all together.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is why we put you through all that agony.
And you literally can't wait for the Chosen to just crush them all.
Burn
sweet revenge.
Burn them.
All right, cool. That brings series 2, episode 47 to a close. Thank you very much to the panel. If you'd like to take part in a future episode of the podcast, please do send us a message on our Facebook page or on our website, thetribe.co.uk. So we'll see you next time for episode 48. Until then, bye.
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 Bye.